Hey, this is Shashi from PowerFlex product management team, and I mainly focus on developing applications and workload solutions for PowerFlex. And in today's session, we'll talk about some specific use cases and applications for high-performing machine learning solutions like Elastic Stack on PowerFlex with VMware. So just a brief update or a brief summary of what is Elastic Stack and its use cases. So Elastic Stack, previously known as ELK Stack, is kind of a combination of three different modules, open source modules. One is the Kibana, Elasticsearch, and then also the key other module is the Logstash. Again, the Kibana is the component which again mainly handles the visualization and manageability. And then the Elasticsearch is the open source tool which takes care of the entire data ingestion, enrichment, and then also the storage analytic operations. And then the Logstash is the component which kind of takes care of all the ingestion and then again feeds that ingested values into the Elasticsearch, and Kibana helps in the visualization. So all these three components together is called as Elastic Stack, which has become very popular now for customers who are challenged with really exponentially growing, very mission critical and high throughput intensive machine language and analytic applications. So why again customers are interested in Elastic? Like first thing is again Elastic is open source. Again it is definitely becoming very popular. Again, a lot of customers are looking for alternatives. There are some leaders in this field, but again, customers are looking for alternative because machine data analysis is becoming more expensive and then also very challenging with respect to performance and also other throughput and scalability requirements. So they're looking for a more efficient way of handling this kind of data, and then also they're looking for platforms or infrastructure which can be scaled easily and then also provide some kind of a really predictive and then also predictable performance and then also with respect to reliability and other benefits. So these are the key challenges again customers are looking for, and then Elastic is one of the very popular open source tool, which is again gaining really good traction. And then again, customers are looking for deploying this kind of deployments on containers with virtualization, because that's the way they can actually address a lot of challenges with respect to these customers, because they have that kind of flexibility now wherein they can actually manage different kind of or different challenges with respect to performance with different applications and containers and also the VMs. So let's talk about PowerFlex. Dell EMC PowerFlex again is a software-defined storage. Again, the three key tenets are harness software, embrace change, and deliver predictability. Again, when I say harness software, Dell EMC PowerFlex is the software-defined storage, which is really known for its performance, scalability, and fluidity benefits. Again, when I say embrace change, the other pillar is the deployment options PowerFlex provides, and then also the different options with respect to the platform support, whether it is 2-socket or 4-socket, and then also the consumption models, whether you need a completely engineered system or an appliance model, wherein you can bring in your own networking. So you have all that flexibility and deployment options with PowerFlex. Again, the other key tenet for PowerFlex is the predictability. You get 6 nines of availability, and then also the automation which you get with PowerFlex Manager, which is the orchestration software, is very unique because it can actually provide end-to-end automation and orchestration capabilities for your entire stack, including networking, storage, and compute resources. And whatever is your challenges with respect to workloads, whether it is performance or reliability, PowerFlex can provide you that kind of predictability. So they get a little bit more details on the PowerFlex software-defined storage. Again, PowerFlex is known for performance, scale, and resiliency. How does it provide that kind of massive performance? The PowerFlex can provide that kind of unique, massive performance because of the architecture, the unique architecture which PowerFlex has. On a PowerFlex system, every node on the cluster including every drives sitting on those nodes actually contribute with the IO operations. This is one of the main reason why, because of this aggregated resources, you get millions of IOPS with sub-millisecond latency. And then also you get the same kind of throughput. And then also when you scale your environment, because all your nodes and drives are contributing with IO, you get the same kind of benefit without any latency impact. When I say scalability, I talked about the key benefits with respect to latency and also the performance benefits. Again, as you can see, you can start probably with the 4 nodes, a very small footprint of 4 nodes, and then you can grow up to like hundreds or even up to 4,000 nodes. We actually have customers who have more than 11,000 nodes in their infrastructure data center, and then also with almost up to 300 to 400 nodes on a single cluster. So PowerFlex provides this kind of unrestricted scalability. And then again, whether you use 4 or 400 nodes, you get the same kind of benefits with respect to performance and without any latency impact. And the other key tenant or the key unique value add or the differentiation with PowerFlex is the resiliency. Whether you use 4 nodes or 400 nodes, as I mentioned, you get the same kind of performance. Again, the other key thing, which is very critical for a database administrator or a analytic administrator, is the reliability of the storage. So on a PowerFlex cluster, if for some reason, if there is a planned or unplanned outage of a node, then the administrator or the application administrator does not need to worry about that. The PowerFlex storage will automatically take care of rebalancing the remaining IO operations, all the IO operations on the remaining nodes, and then also it will make sure that the IO is completely rebalanced on the other existing nodes of the cluster. Again, similarly, once that node becomes online, it will automatically make sure that the IO is completely optimized by rebalancing across all the nodes available on the cluster. And the other key thing I think which I mentioned as one of the tenant of PowerFlex is the flexible deployment architecture. So PowerFlex offers a unique architecture called a disaggregated or 2-layered architecture, wherein you can have your compute and storage resources independently managed, and then also independently you can scale them based on the need. This is very unique architecture by PowerFlex because especially in analytics application, typically you don't need to scale your compute resources all the time. There is always a lot of data being ingested to the system, and then most probably your scalability requirements are only with respect to capacity. So in this kind of scenarios, you can actually independently scale your storage nodes and then keep your compute nodes as it is. Or in case if there is a requirement, you can also increase your compute resource as per the need, which is going to give you a very predictable and then also very cost-effective architecture for analytic applications. And also if there is a need for you to have all your compute and storage resources as a single system, as like a hyperconverged model, PowerFlex even offers that, and then also it supports that. And then also a lot of customers start with a hyperconverged configuration for some specific use cases, and then based on the need, you can actually add only compute resources in a 2-layered architecture as per the need. So as you can see, PowerFlex can provide you all these different kind of deployment models based on your need with the same infrastructure. And the other key thing I just want to highlight here is whatever is your application, whether it is like a very high throughput intensive application, like analytic application like Elastic Stack, or a SaaS grid, or any databases, or any other cloud native or container based applications. And you can deploy that on PowerFlex on the same infrastructure, and then that is the kind of flexibility you get here. So as you can see, PowerFlex can support bare metal configuration, wherein you can deploy some applications like Oracle RAC or any other traditional databases, or you can even have native applications running on containers, or you can even deploy virtual machines. And then also, if required, there are a lot of use cases where customers would like to prefer deploying containers on top of VMs for specifically addressing some isolation and security aspects, and even that is supported on PowerFlex. So you can see the kind of broad platform support PowerFlex provides for analytical applications and then also other mission critical applications here. And then also PowerFlex provides some of the very features which is very relevant, and then also which is required by large mission critical applications like native replication and compression, which are very effective for managing your huge ingestion and then also the growth in analytic applications like AI/ML and other cloud native and then database applications. So let's go into detail of little bit of specific validation and then also some of the reference architectures we have developed with Elastic Stack on PowerFlex with VMware and then containers. So we have a reference architecture. This is a partner validated solution. We worked very closely with Elastic team here, and then we have come up with we have validated a solution wherein PowerFlex was used as the storage infrastructure, and then with VMware hypervisor, we use Kubernetes containers on top of VMware hypervisor to deploy the entire Elastic Stack components, which is Logstash, Elasticsearch, and Kibana, and all those components which I explained previously were deployed on top of VMs here, like on the virtualized VMs, and then again, ESXi 6.7 was used here as the hypervisor. And then again, this solution actually is completely validated. And then also, it's not just, when I say validation, it's not just a validation of the architecture. We also did a quite detailed performance benchmarking on this solution to see what is the kind of value, because there is always a question by a lot of Elasticsearch or any analytic applications, analytic customers saying that, hey, if I virtualize this kind of environment, especially this kind of throughput intensive applications, what kind of performance can I expect? Because they're always worried about this kind of throughput intensive applications. Again, there was always a concern. So we have done like detailed performance benchmarking with the tools, which is the industry standard tool, which is developed by Elastic to make sure that what workload we are simulating is very realistic here. So as you can see on this ESXi 6.7 based PowerFlex cluster, with this cluster, we were able to achieve more than 1 billion events within 3 hours. Again, this is again a very basic 4 storage node cluster. As you can see, it's a very starting point of a PowerFlex node cluster with a 4 node storage only cluster. We were able to hit more than 1 billion events within 3 hours. And then again, this is the kind of performance you can get. So these numbers are like phenomenal. And then as you can see, again, when we grow your PowerFlex nodes from 4 to 8 or again more than that, you can get the same kind of linear scaling and linear performance benefits. So again, the other advantage, as I mentioned, is you can even scale only storage if required, or you can scale compute only if required based on your needs. So these numbers are again available in the link what I'm sharing in this. So you can go into the details of that white paper and the detailed reference architecture which I showed here, and then you can get all the details about other key performance numbers which we were able to get from this testing. Again, as I mentioned, like why PowerFlex for Elastic? So PowerFlex, as I mentioned, is known for its high performance and scalable block-based storage, which is really ideal for applications like Elastic Stack, because Elastic Stack customers are looking for this kind of high performance, scalable solution wherein they don't have to worry about the challenges with respect to scalability and the daily ingestion. And then also if they need to scale, how easily they can scale without any, worrying about what needs to be done at the storage side. So, and they can focus entirely on their application and tweaking the application for day-to-day operations. And then the other key things, again, as I mentioned, is PowerFlex supports any hypervisor. including VMware, or you can even do bare metal or even on containers. And then the scalability of compute and storage resources independently is one of the key, really key factor. And the other thing I wanted to highlight, especially with Elasticsearch solution, again, Elastic is a GCP partner. Already the Elastic stack is available. The entire Elastic stack is available through GCP partner today on GCP Marketplace. Again, a lot of customers are looking to deploy this on top of containers. And then there is a lot of traction happening in this area. And then PowerFlex is already validated for Google Anthos. And then already there are work going on, and then there are some POCs and investigations, and then more work happening wherein we are investigating and trying to validate solutions where you can deploy Elastic Stack on top of containers with PowerFlex. And then also Google Anthos is one of the solutions we are validating. So just to conclude here, again, as I mentioned, for Elastic Stack especially, we were able to achieve 1 billion plus events with just a 4-node storage-only configuration with 3 compute nodes, and again with 3 hours. So this is with Elastic Rally benchmarking tool. And then again, as you can see here, it's not only analytic applications, like again, Elastic Stack and SAS Grid, as you can see, are some of the examples for analytic applications here. But even other applications, whether it is like a traditional database like Oracle or SQL, or even a NoSQL database like Cassandra, you can get the same predictability, or you can get the same performance benefits and the scalability benefits for these kind of applications on PowerFlex. Actually, I just wanted to highlight here that I'm covering some of the specifics or more details on some of these traditional databases and NoSQL databases, how you can deploy and what are the benefits with PowerFlex in another vBrown session. I'll be really happy if you can please also join that session, and then if you have any questions, please let us know. And then again, I just wanted to highlight the resource link here. Again, this is the detailed reference architecture, partner validated solution, which we have done with Elastic. Again, this has all the details with respect to what are the guidelines, and then also the sizing. And then also it has all the details with respect to the performance results, which I shared, like how we were able to get this kind of performance. And then also some more details about the test configuration, and then other test tunable parameters and all the details here. Again, I just wanted to end with a customer testimonial here. Again, PowerFlex, as I mentioned, is already, again, we are seeing a lot of traction of deploying this kind of AI/ML or analytic applications with PowerFlex. Again, we have a large North American bank. Again, they were really impressed when they were able to ingest more than 25 terabyte in 18 hours with just 5 VMs. That's what I wanted to highlight here. It's just 5 VMs, and then they were able to get 25 terabytes. So this is the kind of performance you can get. And then also the other scalability and linear scalability and the reliability benefits complements this. So this is a really great solution for analytics and any machine language or any kind of AI/ML kind of workloads. That concludes my session. Thank you.